versus Blue-Red Delver.
Okay, yeah. That sounds fine. So, yeah, it will be a little different than the Swiss rounds where you had Florian commentate with alongside you, because I'm one of the players in this match. I'm playing, it's a Delver, Blue-Red Delver, and yeah, I think it will be a little bit more of a follow me around through the top 8. Yeah, simple start. I think it's the most difficult matchup in the top 8, maybe as equal to Doomblade with Panosh, but I think like it's Enchantress is only playable because it's okay against Delver. It's not really good in the sense of power level, but it doesn't really play well into the Delver themes. It's not wastelandable, it's not dazeable.
Yeah,
and it's faster. If it's just naturals, you have to have 2 or 3 forces to set them to counter them, and then they just draw 3 more cards with the Enchantress and win the game on the grind. So I think it's the toughest matchup. But the good thing is that I got paired down in round 5, had to play and couldn't draw, so I'm now 4-1 at this point, and at 12 points, so top seed, and I can start every game in the top, every match in the top 8, which is huge. Here, a little bit awkward finding no second land, so I have to play Mystic Sanctuary tapped.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like well prepared to play the tempo game, the grind game with 2 forces and expert situation. So basically, just don't allow him to do anything, and then refill my hand.
Yeah.
That's why I also let the Mariscal resolve, because it's not card advantage, it's just card filtering.
Yeah.
And I don't care what card they are with my forces, I just counter them.
Yeah.
And yeah, as long as he doesn't get card advantage, I think I'm fine here.
Yeah, and something I think is really huge is like missing his second line drop.
Of course.
Which is incredible in this matchup.
Which is like the only way I can wasteland him he basically wastelanding himself by not playing lands.
Yeah.
So here's a Delver. That's the thing. I just keep counters up, apply pressure, and hope it's enough.
Yeah. And you get the flip because you put like a lightning bolt and an unholy heat on top, if I saw it correctly.
Yeah, I had an unholy heat in hand, of course.
I think unholy heat is like the card that does nothing in this matchup and will come out.
No, I don't know if it does really. Since the Modern Horizon deck sets, it does a lot more because it can bolt Enchantress, Silvers, and also the Wincon, from Zendikar, no, not Zendikar, which was it? From Pharaoh's Beyond Death, the one that animates the land. It can also kill those.
Okay. So it has.
It's not a dead card. Yeah. Like in the old school Elephant Grass Enchantress days, where everything had either Shroud or wasn't a creature. Yeah, it was pretty dead.
Yeah.
But in this new Enchantress decks, it's not as dead.
Okay. And we see the second land drop for Moritz. So he will likely play some spells, or he will hope that he can play something like an Enchantress or a Paladin Glass. We will see what to do.
Yeah, I think it was the game where I played with I didn't know the card that well, so
I think it's basically like Thalia on his turn.
It's a Thalia on his turn, but for all spells, not only. So I think it's all cards, not only non-creatures, which would only be relevant for Operation Power. And he never leveled anything up, so he, I don't think that's, it's unholy heat, and I think underneath that it's a second bolt.
Yeah.
Which is not terrible because it just means
you get another wasteland, which is kind of okay because you need it because of Paladin Glass.
And I don't look to waste anything for 2 reasons. I don't. There's no target on the board, and also it's really important to play spells. And with the Paladin Glasses, now I barely can attack. Now I have Force open because I have 2 lands open. Yeah. And he does the rookie mistake of stumbling while playing against Blue-Red Delver, which you shouldn't do because then you're dead.
Yeah. And something that is kind of important too is like the bolts also have like targets because of the combo with Swift Rec configuration.
I think it's reconfiguration.
Together with the 2-drop.
Delver gets
Devote the Druid, yeah.
They want to do it here. My Delver would get targeted, but I need the pressure on board, so I
Okay.
just do
So-
force pitch force and
Do you have another force back in hand?
don't know, but now I think I have just a red card. Yeah, I have one force in hand still.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Force
good.
and blue card.
Yeah.
So
Though
everything
the
still
blue card
works
will
out.
be cast next turn, I think, because it's a ponder.
Yeah, and we get another mana acceleration on the side of Moritz.
Yeah, that was just a basic turn I drew up when I passed, because whatever actually spell he played, I forced it, and then he
Yeah.
played basically a land drop. So that's best case scenario. Now I put pressure on the board. Luckily I drew pressure.
Yeah.
7. That's now
Down to 11.
So now
That's
that's
lethal
10.
on next turn.
That's
Yeah.
10. I think he's on. He now goes down to 14. 13.
He's
on
at 12. Yeah.
He will play Sylvis and go down to 14, if I remember right. And then I show him his bolt and his scoop. The bolt and he scoops.
Okay. So yeah, pretty easy game 1. And game 1 is basically the game that is really hard for Delma, I think.
Not if I start. If I start, it's okay.
Okay.
Also, let's look at the sideboard. Joke can get annoying. Other than that,
I think it should be pretty
I
fine.
think it should be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. So we can talk a little bit about sideboarding. I will bring in 2 Medding Hex, of course, because they are just insanely good.
Yeah.
So here I think a force and then show him the bolt. Yeah. Also, I don't know what else I would bring in. A force of negation, of course, for the extra enchantment counters.
Yeah.
The other thing I think it would be stay in the sideboard, taking out probably 2 Mishra's Bubble. I always take out 2 Mishra's Bubble if I have nothing else to take out.
Yeah.
And I think I took out at least 1 days on the
draw.
On draw.
Yeah, on the draw it makes just sense. So you're looking at like Maddening Hex and Force of Negation. Yeah.
I think we can see what it will put in.
So we have like 2 Force of Negation and 2 Maddening Hex. And
then I was just checking if it said non-creature or instant or sorcery card on Medding Hex.
okay,
Because if it says instant or sorcery, the card is not good in the matchup.
but it is not creature.
It's non-creature, and that means Enchantress can't win if I play this card.
I mean, you need a lot of Sylvis out, and it's legendary, so you cannot have only 1 out.
This is
So you need a lot of 1s.
funny ruling. Rule thing about Medding Hex. It's actually the player who controls the Medding Hex who is supposed to roll the die, because it says you roll the die.
So it would also be your trigger.
Oh yeah, it is your trigger. But why would it be the trigger of your opponent?
I mean, who controls it? So
You control the player who plays the Medding Hex controls the Medding Hex. It's just attached to the different player.
Okay.
It's like a pacifying opponent creature. You still control the enchantment.
Okay.
Medding Hex is in our.
So you have to announce the trigger, and your opponent has to roll.
No, you have to roll. The player who controls Medding Hex, because it says you roll, and you means the control of the permanent, which you are.
And that means also that the player that is enchanted by the Maddening Hex has to announce the trigger?
No, the player who is enchanted by the Medding Hex has to do nothing. If
Okay.
he plays a spell, the guy who plays Medding Hex and controls Medding Hex, of course, has a trigger. He announces the trigger, and then on the resolution of the trigger, he rolls for damage.
Okay. So now we go into game 2. We have Moritz up with or down 1 game. So that means Jonas or you are basically 1 up.
Yeah.
And let's see if Moritz can swing back or if he will be.
That looks okay. That a couple of forces, 1 land, a brainstorm on my hand.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the thing that you are most looking forward to. A second land with a brainstorm would be perfect. But yeah, getting to draw, getting an additional card, and then fixing is just fine.
This game might look. I even do this.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time I did this the whole tournament.
And on the side of Moritz, it's a mulligan. Okay, so down to 6. I mean, he has a lot of cards that give him basically additional cards on the side of like the enchantresses and stuff
and
like
like
that.
my threat here is Murktide, which isn't the fastest threat on the board.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not free win right now.
Yeah, you're basically looking that you can lock the game down the first few turns and then play the Murktide on turn 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
With the Brainstorm maybe once or twice forcing stuff, fetching, so that you get at least a 5/5 or a 6/6 out, and the 6/6 should be a 3-turn Glock. Especially when Moritz is on a mulligan, which is not that great.
Yeah. So I don't know if I showed what I bought it out, but I intuitively would say that on the draw there is only three lightning bolts left in the deck, because I maybe bought it out 1 days and 1 lightning bolt. Or now I think I bought out the unholy hit over the lightning bolt.
Yeah, the bolt can go face and it kills every creature.
But I think I only have 4 burn spells in the deck right now.
Yeah, would be something that I would do like that too. So
I mean, I have at least 1 lightning bolt left because I have one in my starting hand.
Yeah, so you didn't draw a land?
I drew a wasteland.
You drew a wasteland, okay. I mean, wasteland is okay, but it doesn't cast any spells in the hand currently. That's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, it's always the problem with wasteland and Delver. It's not really a mana source because you don't really have any non-colored mana to pay for.
Built a non-Delver aggro deck for next Friday in the Legacy FNM, and the deck only plays 3 Daces and 3 Wastelands.
Okay.
Which it feels quite nice.
Yeah. I mean, Wasteland is such a crucial part most of the time, but a lot of time it's like stuck on the battlefield when your opponent can't play out some basics, and then it's like pretty bad.
Yeah, but I think generally right now...
does it has Shroud? No.
No, that doesn't have Shroud. I don't have enchantment removal, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I think in response to that, I will brainstorm and then force pitch something.
Yeah.
So I have land, and I have drew 3 lands, no shuffle.
Yeah. Which is?
It's mediocre.
Mediocre, but okay.
Yeah.
So you will just Force of Negation it. Pitch Murktide?
I don't know.
Oh. Force pitch Murken.
I actually pitched Force of Will. I don't know why I didn't pitch. I know why
you can play it on turn 3.
Because I can hard.
Yeah.
But here I think I opt to go a semi-value exploration. Iteration, because I can't play lands. Just take another iteration, exile a wasteland, and
Yeah, I mean basically you cleared the top of your deck, which you knew was bad. So it basically gave you 1 good draw. So, but yeah, we will have to see what Moritz is up to now.
But right now I'm really behind in this matchup because I have no pressure.
Yeah.
And I don't look at any cantrips in my hand. So Moritz really has to have a bad hand in order for me to win.
Yeah. And I mean it isn't that great. But yeah.
Here I get I get kind of punished for choosing to play the Force of Will, because I can't force a creature now.
Yeah. And it's a cast trigger, am I right? Yeah.
That's a cast trigger.
Okay, so Force of Will in hand?
I think I drew the dice and put the Force of Will back. Reconsidered. Okay.
And now it's fetching out for the Dragon Rage Channeler. Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I also like to draw the Force of Will. I wouldn't. It's an above average card, so it's better to be somewhere in the deck and not in the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is not the biggest consideration, but
I mean, it's something.
It's something, yeah. Also, I already have my Mystical Sanctuary in hand, so I don't need to hold a fetch for that trick.
Because you can basically play it on the next turn and put something on top.
I don't think I have Delirium right now. I should only have...
It should be just land,
instant
sorcery, instant. Yeah.
Because the Murktide was pitched.
Yeah. So we get here another card, another draw.
2 draws, because the enchantment also draws.
Sure. Now we get another land drop and another draw. So basically Moritz is here ramping up. Should be something like a paladin class or something
And
like that.
like he's in control of this game right now.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty clear what I will do the next turn. So I will just hit him for free and
Hope
try
that-
to negate whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
But he can just play his game. Even if it doesn't work out this way, he draws cards.
Yeah.
And as long as he stays above like 6 lives or so, he will be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, just playing the paladin class, giving him like the out for the force of negation. Now living wish, which will resolve.
Yeah, I can't taste that right now. He played
Yeah.
that quite well with the paladin class.
So he will for sure get the creature for infinite mana. Am I right?
Yeah, devoted to it.
I mean, for next turn you basically have to bolt up for it. So
Yeah, and which bolt is just another free damage that don't go to the face right now, which is not
Yeah.
that great because I really need to go to build up the pressure. So here's just the typical play of iteration on top for value.
So the thing is that you ponder here?
I do have a ponder in hand.
I think you will just pass, I think.
I don't think I have a ponder in hand. That's a
It-
spell pierce.
It's a spell piece. Okay. I thought it looked like the secret lair ponder.
Yes. Secret lab.
The Black Lives
Back that matter.
Black Lives Matter, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I play the full art player reward. Ponders textless.
Okay. Yeah, those are kind of confusing for new players.
I mean, it's ponder, so it's not the most confusing card, unlike the full art Omnath they just decided to print.
Or the full art cryptic command.
Yeah, that's really annoying for new players. Like, this spell without text on it does these 2 things, and then 3 turns later, the same card does 2 other things. Yeah, I think I just now have to spell pierce the choke because otherwise I would be pretty shut out of the game.
Did you milt? No, you kept the expressive iteration.
I knew the specification,
Yeah.
so I don't want to put it on top and then mill it. Pay 1 days and return Sanctuary, which is kind of nice.
So you draw your iteration now. Can do stuff here.
And like the Jupiter's Ball at this point is not that important to days. It was just more like to have the Sanctuary in hand for flexibility.
Yeah.
And it hit because at this point and he has like 6 mana. No, 4 mana. Yeah, at least, and a couple of 1 and 2 card spells. So I don't look at to really Daisy's money cards right now.
Yeah, it's basically now. I mean, Wasteland in hand because it pretty much doesn't matter.
And I decided to keep Wasteland instead of a Flutterstrand because I for the Sanctuary at once, and also I probably just need some sort of mana to interact on his turn with the Paladin class.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter which if
color
it's color
does it?
mana or not.
Yeah.
So I don't think I think Wasteland is the correct decision. Here you see the full art ponder.
I mean, you basically bank on that he does have only one Swift reconfiguration here. Am I right?
And I bank on him like forgetting how to play Magic and conceding, but yeah. I'm as said multiple times, I'm pretty behind this game.
I mean, you have to basically accelerate your Dragon Rage Channeler because he was not delirious up until now because you milled the creature here.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, he doesn't play the mana here, and he now has his tool for infinite mana, am I right? With a Green Sensini, if he should win the game.
He has it in hand from Living Wish.
Yeah, but he still got a Green Sensini for any win condition.
So yeah. You see that? Yeah, so he can just go to the Destiny Spinner, I think it's called, from Spheros, and then have infinite mana and make his lands big.
Okay. So we will see what cards that he will play here. I mean, it should be basically. So it's 4 mana, am I right? Or
No,
3?
it's 3 because the Abundant Growth doesn't make mana.
Yeah,
It
It's
filters.
just lets him choose.
But it's basically now a 5 color mana base.
From a good old forest. And yeah,
So that's the Water Druid.
and Swift Refiguration. And here we should see the Force of Negation, am I right?
I think that's a Force of Will, but yeah.
Or
I don't have a blue card in hand. Do I have a blue card in hand? No, I don't have a blue card in hand.
okay.
What do I don't know.
Okay, so basically,
I just did.
yeah. And I think you're, I mean, it's just my thing. I think the ponder was greedy here, a little bit. Because if you don't ponder, you have the bolt up for the Devoted Druid that you knew of. And, I mean, you have the 1 mana from the Wasteland to pay for it. Because if you don't find any blue card of the ponder, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know that it doesn't matter here in this game, because there is a game free.
I mean, I lose this game.
Yeah.
I think it's... No, it's not the only loss in the top 8. Lost other games.
So, yeah, no worries. I mean, he just makes...
He's not... He's just styling on me now.
I mean, he's playing the Paladin class because, like,
Yeah.
there is now no way that you can interact with it.
Yeah.
Because if you bank the Greens and Zenith and the Force of Negation,
For the green
and
Zenith, yeah.
for the Greens and Zenith, you are still in the game.
Yeah, not
But-
really. He has 10 cards in hand.
Not really, but I mean, if you have like 3 bolts in hand, he would be dead.
No.
4 bolts. But yeah. So.
Yeah.
So Green Sansini for Destiny Spinner, and Destiny Spinner makes his lands big, or
Destiny Spinner has an activated ability of 3 and 1 green. One target land becomes XX with trample, where X is the number of enchantments you control.
okay,
So he has infinite mana. So next turn he can just make his creatures big.
Yeah.
But it gives me 1 turn. I think I'm bolting this Destiny Spinner
okay.
because it's a 2/3.
So okay,
I'm
so
still in the game, but
Yeah.
that's what I meant. It's not a powerful combo. It's a combo that wins 1 turn later, which isn't the legacy standard of power.
not really. So still needing a turn for Moritz here, and it's not like until end of turn, am I right?
It's until end of turn.
Okay, yeah, that's
So here, bolt this one, have 2 triggers.
putting away a land and a Brazen Boar, am I right?
I don't know what this was. I didn't see, and I don't remember.
I think it was a Brazen Boar. So that means like if you play at the Fiery Islet, you can get yourself another blue card for the Force of Negation,
And
if it
then
would matter.
Don't have mana for Paladin class. I can't cast.
Yeah, you have.
I
Na-
can't
you
cast.
you need now 2 mana, and not the only one. So yeah. So we are waiting for
But
it.
I'm currently not dead on board. It just has infinite mana.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Attacking for 3 in the air. That's the.
Like a Living Wish is killing me right now. There's so much things killing me.
Does he have
Uh,
another
yes,
Destiny
Destiny
Spinner?
Spinner,
In?
And then he has 3 big creatures I can't handle.
Okay. I mean, does he have to pass the turn?
No, his lands.
Yeah.
He don't need to tap his lands because he has infinite mana from the Water Druid.
Okay, yeah.
So he just makes his 3 untapped lands to
But he
10/10.
does he have to tap the Destiny Spinner?
No.
Okay.
You can activate it multiple times.
So it was like the
He-
unfortunate scenario for him that he doesn't have any lands out, so that he has to pass the
he had
turn in
not.
this
He,
game.
he had tapped all his lands in the turn he
Yeah.
comboed. Yeah.
Okay. So in general, it would be possible to win the same turn.
Yeah. Also, if he has a Living Wish, he can go for Emrakul.
Okay, yeah. Which is kind of strong card.
Yeah, sure, it's good.
Good old 15/15
we-
Frample.
Could talk about what he's bringing in. I think. Do you think he's bringing in Doomwick Giant against Delver? I think it's too slow and does too little. It seems kind of nice in the.
I mean, it depends.
I mean, the longer I'm looking, the more I think the Solitude is kind of nice.
I think that
But-
it's just a
Yep.
Living Wish board. You
That-
still have the Living Wish for the turn
Yeah,
2
sure.
to get any cards for your turn
Sure.
3 or turn 4. So I think you want them in the sideboard so that you
Yeah,
can
sure.
get access through your tutor.
Also, if you look at the main board, the only card you can pitch to Paladin to the Solitude are Paladin class, which he really likes to have on the field.
Yeah.
Swift reconfiguration, which is a combo piece.
Yeah.
Run Replenish, which would be the card
worst card.
I would considering actually boarding out for the choke.
Yeah.
And for Sylvis, which also nice to have in the hand. So I don't think he has really the.
So those are not really
likes to
cards
pi-
that you
he-
want to
I don't
pitch.
think he likes to pitch cast Solitude. He he can also just cast a Swift reconfiguration for basically the same effect on my
Yeah.
creatures.
Exactly.
Because I'm not ever want to crew that.
I mean, you can crew it with like a 6/6 Murktide or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
if I tap a 6/6 Merctant, it's for attacking and not for crewing a 3/2.
I mean, he can basically do it to a 6/6 Murktide. When you play afterwards a 6/6 Murktide, it's a 9/9 Murktide.
Yeah.
No, it's
So, and
It's
welcome to
just
game
a
3,
removal
which
spell.
will be, I think, will be a kind of non-game, because we just play cards and then the game stops.
okay.
So, for some kind of foreshadowing.
I mean, the game stops at some point in every match.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
so in some games, that's the time when one life total reaches 0.
Yeah.
And
So it's a Delver hand.
no, it's not a Delver hand. It's a normal game until I see one card on top of my library with the
Okay.
with Dragon's Chandler, and then just win.
Okay. Oh, you mean the Maddening Hex that
I
you
mean the
boarded?
Maddening Hex. I just play Maddening Hex and the game is over.
Yeah. I mean, he can't play cards anymore.
Yes.
So he basically has to make a big board up until turn 3. Or up until his turn
So
2.
this Murktide is pretty much just a blue card in this matchup. And
Yeah. Was this the Maddening
I
Hex?
think this was the Maddening Hex already. Is it? I can see it.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it was a top, which is kind of nice.
I mean, I think you have a Force, you have the Murktide to pitch, you have the Expressive Iteration, and you have the third land.
Yeah, I have one land in the Ponder. I think it's a Wasteland.
Yeah.
But I need to. Oh no, that's the second blue land actually.
Yeah.
So I think the Ponder was land, fetch land, Wasteland, Hex.
Which is like something that you really, really want to see. And yeah, we'll just wait what more it will do. So it's at 19. Next turn you will for sure get Delirious. He will play something like a Paladin class, which is something that is like a pretty strong turn 2 altogether. So yeah, will be interesting. Do we get any ramp or any other cards of Moritz? Let's see. Okay, just a pass here.
I think he's just tanking.
Okay.
Is it passing?
No, it's just tanking. So yeah,
If we look at his hand, Living Wish in it, Queen's Arm, I think he's considering if he uses his reconfiguration defensively right now.
Yeah.
Because he's looking at potentially 6 damage next turn.
yeah, true. And what do you think about not playing any Dried Arbor in the list? I think if you play Green Sun Zenith, you should play Dried Arbor. Am I right?
I don't know. Do you have already
I mean, you have so much acceleration in the type of
you already have
Wild Growth.
13 green 1-drops, so you most of the time have to have a better play then.
Yeah.
Because you drop your Sprawl or Wild Growth or Abundant Growth on a forest, it's just better than
Yeah, that's true.
Dried Arbor in this deck.
And we have an Enchantress on turn 2. Okay, Force Pitch Force.
So that's
And-
definitely the Hexen. Oh no, so I shuffled, and now I see the hex. That's the
Okay.
way.
Okay.
I shuffled with the Flooded Strand, and now that's the Maddening Hex, and the game is over.
Okay, fair enough. Trigger.
For good measures. Don't need Wasteland. I could board them.
And it's now 4-6.
Yeah.
Down to 12.
He can play between 2 and 3 spells this game.
I mean, he can play between 2 and 6,
Yeah.
12 spells.
He won't.
But he won't play 12 spells this turn. So, yeah. Do we see him rolling to death?
I think he played 1 spell and then conceded.
I mean, the problem with this card's like, I mean, in theory, he can do something like, how's it called? The Living Wish for an Bosage or something like that. But
not with 6 power on board.
Not with 6 power on board, yeah.
No, and here I'm just explaining to him how the multiplayer rules of Maddening Hex don't really care for Legacy.
Yeah.
So you are still choosing an opponent at random to reattach it to, but there is only one opponent, and if you choose at random, it will be the same every time.
And the cool thing is that if by some reason you get misdirection or something like that and get it enchanted on yourself, after 1 spell it will be on your opponent.
Yeah, that's the safety on it. Like if the Magic Online and you click on yourself for some reason,
after 1 spell it goes away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You play your idiot text of misclicking for like 3.5 damage, and then everything's fine.
Or in my case, most likely 6.
Or 12 for some weird reason.
I mean, if you play like with the trigger on the stack, you can play a lot of spells. If you like Ponder trigger in response, Brainstorm trigger in response, Bolt trigger, you can get 3 triggers.
That seems like a really weird
self-hurting scenario.
Death Shadow tech.
Yeah. We should play Grixis Death Shadow here. And we have actually the Living Wish.
6.
And that's lethal on board.
Yes.
Because if he gets like Living Wish for a Bosager, he can have something like, I mean, it's pretty much nutty if he gets like Sylvie into like double Swift reconfiguration on the next turn. He can do something.
So he gets the Solitude here for living, because it doesn't text him from Maddening Hex.
Yeah.
And he lives through the thing, but also he's on 3 life now, and on average doesn't survive his next enchantment.
Yeah, basically it's like pretty much that. I mean, if you find the Bolt here and the land, it's also game over. Okay. Putting 2 cards away. And yeah.
I don't know why I thought about that so long.
I mean, the Force of Negation doesn't really do anything because, like, I mean, he solitudes here. And yeah. Now he's at 3.
Yeah, we'll go to 3 now. But I don't think we touched the pad, but we pretty sure here.
Yeah. But yeah. Should be game over here. Play green Samsonov for good measures. So that we can confirm the death of the Enchantress. I mean, is it another Living Wish?
Now he's just looking for sideboard if he wants to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And I'm already warming up the die in preparation of the Lethal Stroke.
Yeah. I mean, Maddening Hex is such a cool card. I mean, it's so strong against the blue decks and
Legacy,
the Storm
it's
decks.
I think it's a fair card because it's 3 mana.
Yeah.
And in Legacy, if you go above 2 mana, I think you're allowed to do pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, and we have currently Hydroblast in the meta, which is like a 2-of in most blue decks, which is a good answer to it. So it's pretty much okay. I mean, it's a strong card.
Also, the 4-color control decks with Euro and Minsk and Boo and a lot of action spells can actually raise it.
Yeah.
Because if you get 3 life with Euro a bunch of times and stabilize the board, and the Minsk and Boo is just
Hitting.
Clock with 1 spell cast.
I mean, yeah, Maddening Hex can do a lot of broken stuff. And yeah, there are so many outs. I mean, Teferi in the blue decks to itself, so it's definitely in there that you have some outs to do. And I think is this a Green Sun Zenith or Living Wish for the death here?
I don't know, but he really doesn't want to lose her now. I think because he still plays on. It's the Living Wish with the.
Yeah.
Because even if I roll a 1 here, he can cast anything.
Yeah. So it's game over. We have Jonas, so yourself, winning the first quarterfinal, and I think we will wrap this video up. We will be in the next video where we have the first semifinals. We will have both semifinals on stream, so click on the next video. Bye.